Okay, so thanks, Alice, and good morning, everyone. Happy November, happy Sunday. I guess I'll start by just making sure that we're all muted. I don't have control over that.
Fine.
So if you'd like to go ahead and mute yourself, I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, so last week, um, I mentioned during Paula's session that I'm doing a mediumship class right now. And so essentially what that involves is like, we haven't actually gotten to the part yet where we're connecting with like relatives or loved ones. It's mainly been just getting comfortable with sensing like spirit in our auric fields. And so that, encompasses our higher self, getting comfortable with and connected with our higher self, and then also spirit guides. And so as part of that class, I've been doing this meditation daily, like as homework, basically. And I have found it like very useful in physically getting more comfortable in noticing sensations in my auric field, either from my higher self or guides. And so that's been very exciting because part of me feels like it's just the daily practice of doing it and getting used to it that helps us to go deeper later on. And so I wanted to share it with you all. What it involves, the first part is simply going through the chakras, getting in tune, kind of like, turning on or what have you, and then getting into the power, which is basically like a term used in mediumship that is essentially like the same thing. It's like getting in tune so that you can be able to connect with spirit. So that's the first part. And then we're going to connect with archangels, angels. And then the last part is connecting with a spirit or spirits in particular, like guides, either that can help you, support you with your own mediumship or with healing work. So we all are healers. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Yeah, so if you want to just go ahead and get started by finding a comfortable position, if you haven't already. And then just start to close your eyes, turn your attention inward, noticing your breath as it flows in and out. Noticing how your clothes feel against your skin. How it feels for your body to be supported by the chair or the surface that you're on. And then just start to breathe deeply, counting up to 7 as you inhale, visualizing a balloon expanding in the belly, and then counting to 8, releasing all of that air from the balloon on your exhale. So inhale, expanding the balloon in the belly, and exhaling, releasing the breath from the balloon and from your mouth. You can just go ahead and get used to this breathing pattern, knowing that you can come back to it at any time during the meditation. We're just going to start now by setting our intention for who we'd like to send healing to. You can visualize first yourself, of course, and then also include in the people from this Reiki circle today, anyone else in particular that you'd like to focus on, and also including Mother Earth. And then we're also going to set an intention that we are meditating now in order to connect with our spirit team and to meet the guide or guides who are going to help support us in our respective practices, be that with mediumship or healing. Go ahead and signify to each chakra now that you're ready to work with them. Start first by bringing your awareness down into the root chakra, the base of the spine. Just notice what you feel or what you perceive there. And then feel and see a ruby red lotus flower opening up and spinning clockwise there. As you breathe in the color red through the nose and into the root. Watch as the chakra becomes fully open and activated with the red color going out into the auric field. Next, move your awareness up into the sacral chakra, located 2 fingers below your navel. And see and feel an orange lotus flower opening up, spinning clockwise as you breathe in the color orange in through the nose. And watch as it becomes fully open and activated with the color orange going out into the auric field, blending with the red underneath. Moving your awareness up into the solar plexus, see and feel a yellow lotus flower opening up and spinning clockwise as you breathe in the color yellow through the nose and into the solar plexus. Watching as it becomes fully open and activated with the color yellow, moving out into the auric field, blending with the other colors underneath. Moving up now into the heart chakra, breathing in the color green in through the nose and into the heart. Watching as it becomes fully open and activated, brighter and brighter, wider and wider. The green color going out into the auric field, blending with the other colors underneath. Move your energy and awareness now into the throat chakra at the base of the throat. Seeing and feeling a light blue lotus flower opening up, spinning clockwise as you breathe in the color light blue through the nose and into the throat. Watching as it becomes fully open and activated with blue color, moving out into the auric field, blending with the other colors. Moving up to the third eye chakra between the brow, seeing and feeling an indigo lotus flower opening up, spinning clockwise as you breathe in the color indigo in through the nose and into the third eye. Watching and feeling as it becomes more open and activated, the indigo moving into the auric field, blending with the other colors. And finally, move your awareness inside the crown chakra above your head. See and feel a purple and white, large lotus flower opening up above your head, spinning clockwise as you breathe in the color purple through the nose and into your crown. Becoming slowly more fully open and activated, with purple moving out into the auric field, blending with the other colors. And now move your awareness back to your solar plexus and to your heart. Without forcing anything, just gently maintain your awareness on this area. And then see if you can tune into your auric field from this space, from this area. You're going to inhale and exhale at least 3 times. And on each exhale, feel and see your auric field expanding outward, growing, expanding and growing. Each time you do this, you can just tell yourself that you're safe, safe to expand, safe to vibrate faster, and to connect with the spiritual layers of the aura. Then notice your awareness moving a little higher, your energy and your frequency feeling a little faster. Just start to feel yourself moving into the power of your spirit. And then visualize a disc of light in your solar plexus, very small at first. This is your own energy, your own power. Just visualize it and start to feel and see it grow. See it warming your body through the chest, into the torso, up to the head, into the fingertips, your legs, all the way down to your toes. This light just emanates from you. It is expansive and it never runs out. And then start to feel the power and the love of the universe meeting your own aura now and blending with it. Just notice how easy and how natural this is. powerful you start to feel and how calm. And then call in your higher self. Invite your higher self to come into your auric field and ask them to make themselves known to you in a way that you'll be able to recognize. Begin to merge with your higher self to connect with them. Feel fully in your power and be fully in your psychic awareness now. Next, we're going to ask our guides, even if you don't see them yet, and your higher self to help you raise your vibration even further. Just start by telling your energy that it's safe and that this is what you're intending to do, to vibrate quickly enough to connect with the angelic realm. Maybe you start to feel your soul just rising up above your shoulders or just above your head, connecting with the outer layer of your aura. Just trusting. And then first to the east, which is directly to the right of you, we're going to call in Archangel Raphael. Just go ahead and invite him in and trust that he's coming in. Archangel Raphael, Raphael, Raphael to the east. Archangel of air, feeling the air element. Just ask to be given a sign or a symbol of his presence. Maybe it's a feeling or a knowing. Maybe you see a symbol. And then ask him to stand closer to you. Next, calling in Archangel Michael to the south, so behind you. Archangel Michael, Michael, Michael. Feeling him coming closer, allowing and trusting. Archangel Michael to the south with the element of fire. Just receive a sign or symbol of his presence. See and feel him holding the energy of your auric field. Then to the west, Archangel Gabriel with the element of water. Coming in closer and closer. Just feel Gabriel's presence. and ask for a sign or symbol from him. Allow him in closer and closer. In front of you to the north, inviting in Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel with the earth element, asking to receive the sign or symbol of Uriel's presence, maybe a feeling or a knowing, maybe a color. And then allow the archangels to hold your field. Inviting in Metatron, feeling Archangel Metatron coming down through your head, anchoring into the heart and holding your field. And finally, down from below the earth, Archangel Sandalphon. Invite Archangel Sandalphon to come from below the earth's grid all the way up, anchoring into the heart. Feeling the balance in his presence. And with all 6 archangels holding your field, with no effort from you, staying connected to your field, just give permission for yourself now to clear anything that needs to be cleared. Ask Archangel Michael to come closer to you and maybe have a short conversation or a short dialogue with him about what needs clearing. See if you receive any visuals, feelings about what needs to be cleared. And if you don't get any information, that's okay. And then ask Archangel Michael to stand either in front or behind you. He'll know where. Just invite him to stand by you. And then ask him to raise his sword, which is the sword of fire, and to cut any cords that are ready to be cut. So this can be people, projects. You don't have to know what they are or give them a name. Just trust that he is going to work with your energy to start cutting these cords. And on your next exhale, just breathe out anything that you're ready to release. You can exhale as loudly as you need, as many times as you feel you need to. And once he's finished, just ask Archangel Michael to clear anything else in your aura that might need clearing. And if you want, you can even imagine this being sucked out like a vacuum, just trusting and allowing. And inviting in Archangel Raphael, which will feel like a slightly different energy. Just give Raphael permission to heal and to comfort you, and especially to provide healing to any parts where Archangel Michael has cut. You can just thank the angels for the work they've been doing with you. And now that you're sitting in a place and in a space where your energy is already high, we're going to start working with our spirit guides, with the archangels still holding our fields, and with our higher selves still holding our fields. Just start to visualize that there is a staircase directly in front of you. This is your own staircase that leads to your own personal sanctuary. Perhaps it's made of wood or glass or something else. I'm going to count you up these stairs, counting to 10. When I get to 10, you're going to be on a landing at the top of the stairwell, ready to enter your own personal sanctuary at the vibrational level that you need to meet your guides. 1, go ahead and start walking up the stairs. 2, 3, traveling upward. 4, 5, 6, start to see the landing at the top. 7, 8, 9, almost there, and 10. You find yourself now on the landing, and in front of you there is a door. Just go ahead and put your hand on the doorknob, just noticing the texture of the knob, seeing it, noticing what it feels like. And turn the doorknob, opening the door, and feel yourself being flooded with huge white light. Walking in and closing the door behind you. Start to notice where you are now. Perhaps it's a garden or a library. Wherever it is, just allow it to be and have a look around. Just feel free to take a seat wherever you find one. When you've done this, ask to meet a spirit guide or healing guide. Someone or several beings who will be your main guide or guides as you do healing or mediumship. Just trust and allow whatever comes through. Allow them to come into your auric field. You might get an image or a feeling. It might also be a loved one in spirit, which is also okay. Just allow them to come closer to you. Maybe you'd like to feel them in your auric field, and that's all. Or if you feel comfortable having a dialogue with them, you can also have a conversation with them about what it is you'd like to work on, what you'd like to receive. Whatever it is, just trust and allow. And I'll leave you here for a few minutes to talk and communicate with them. Just start to wrap up our communication in the next minute or so. And as we gently start to wrap up, we're going to ask for just one more thing from our guides. As you're sitting there, just start to become aware of your body again, where you're sitting. And ask your guide or guides to stand to the right of you. Ask them to stand next to the left of you. See if you notice or sense any changes or anything at all. Asking them now to stand in the front. And finally behind you. And as they stand behind you, just ask them to put their hands on your shoulders from behind. And without forcing anything, just ask them to blend their energy with yours now. Notice if you can sense or feel any difference. And just go ahead and thank your guide or guides for working with us, knowing that you can connect with them again at any time. And since you're still in the room, in the seat, you can just start to stand up from the chair in your personal sanctuary, or wherever you were, and find the door that you came in through, opening it and going back out onto the landing, closing the door behind you. Count down now from 10 to 1. When I reach 1, you'll be fully back in your body, fully grounded. 10, starting to go down the stairs. 9, 8, 7, feeling more in your body. 6, maybe starting to wiggle your toes or your fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2, starting to sense the ground now, and 1, being fully back on the ground. And bring your awareness to your feet if you feel you need to. Or you can even touch your knees, touch your feet if that helps. Start to come back. Thank you all for going on that journey with me. So like I said, I've been doing some iteration of that every day for like the past 3 weeks or so. Not exactly the same thing, but something related. And I've been having, different experiences. So I'm curious, how other people perceive that. I can just start, I guess, as I normally do, by just going down. If you feel compelled to share, I'll start with Alice.
Thank you, Ashley. I had a lovely experience. I ended up in a place that surprised me because this was the Pantheon in Rome that I've been to several times, and I didn't really realize that how important that was in my journey. And the two guides that came in for me were St. Francis and St. Patrick. And yesterday I helped a friend with an energy clearing and also something else that she will probably end up writing a book about. And St. Patrick was in my car seat, literally standing next to me practically the whole way I was driving to Upper Marlboro. So that was kind of neat. And when I asked St. Patrick what his message was for me, and he said, courage of the unknown. every time I face something where I don't know anything about it, I have a tendency to, my logical mind kicks in, and I want to know all the details before I take a step forward. Those details are going to reveal themselves to me as I do it. So courage of the unknown. St. Francis, I have felt his presence many, many times over many years, to the point where I actually was able to communicate with a horsefly and was able to get it to land on my hand and tell it that it was safe if it just stayed there while I walked it to the front door, opened the door, and flicked it out to freedom, because it had been trapped in my home for 7 days, and it was panicking. So I just told it to calm down, and I know that this was with St. Francis's help. So two very, very important guides in my life, I feel. But thank you. Loved it.
Thank you. That's a really cool story about the horse.
Yeah.
Hope that I develop that ability. So next is Corinne.
Yeah, my experience was nice too. I just have on my left side start really hurting, like really pain on my shoulder, on my left shoulder, and on my foot. I don't know what that can mean. What that means, if it's really like a pulling sensation, like it was really, really hurtful.
Was it when we were like calling in the guide to stand?
Yes.
Left? Okay, and then you felt pain on the left. Interesting.
Yes.
So for me, I've only really felt like pushing and some pulling sensations, not anything that's painful. I don't know, exactly like what pain like would potentially indicate, but I would just wonder if it's almost a way to like get your attention. I'm not really sure. But if you felt it with a specific or particular guide or angel, then maybe it has something, maybe it's connected to, work or, sensations or experience having to do with that particular angel. That's the only thing that I can think of, honestly. Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. It's a little random. Yeah, but
weird because sometimes I do have that when I try to call angels. So I have like really pinching. It's like, I don't know, it feels like, I don't know, like kind of stabbing or something. Like very painful.
interesting.
On my
Yeah.
shoulder and then on my foot. And then it goes away.
Right. And I would wonder if that happens when you call in all angels, or if it's just like it just happens to occur with like particular ones. But yeah, I don't know that I have an answer for like what that sensation could indicate.
Corinne, I'm just going to interject. Ask them, what does that mean?
Okay.
Anytime you have something that happens to you that you don't know, just ask them, what does that mean? What is that pain trying to tell me? So,
Okay.
and just see what happens. So.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to write that down. Thank you.
Thanks, Anna. So next, how about Melvin?
Good morning again, everybody. Mine was nice and smooth and cushy, and some of the times I knew I was awake, but I was just floating. But I guess I would have to ask, but for the images that came in once that I thought was kind of curious is something with a crock pot, and I could see the food in it. And then the next, I was going through a gate. It's one of those lever gates, and then the guts had to be taken off. The top of it had to be taken off and fixed. And then it kind of faded from there, but I don't know whether I went through or not. But that was it that I can remember, because I was going up this. I remember going up the steps with you and coming back down. But other than that, I was just comfort. And the theme that has been with me this week is surrender. You know, you ask, and the layer of surrender is you surrender. There's no anticipation. There's no trying to guess. And whatever you're seeking, when it shows up, you will know you'll know it without any doubt. And that was it for me. I just feel that relief, relaxed.
Great. Thanks, Melvin. Yeah, just to let you know, the first time that I did this with the teacher of the class, I think I fell asleep. And then the second, well, I knew that I was in and out too. I was just like, yeah, I know what happened. But also I was like, really, because this is like, oh, we're going out with the angels and then with the spirit. Like, it was like, I think all of us were like really at a high, like just floating for a while. Because that was 3 hours.
I did feel myself moving forward. And then when I got back here, I kind of sit back up.
But after a few times after I've done this, I felt like high, just kind of floating, because sometimes I'm doing it before work too. It's like I have to start the day, and it's just I feel like I'm in a kind of a floaty space. So yeah, I get that. But thank you for sharing that. And then Julie, would you like to share next?
Oh, hi, Ashley. Again, it was really, really beautiful. Just before I came to this, I'm just so astonished about parallels, because I just was meditating and had something very similar to this. So to me, it was an echo and a reinforcement that I was supposed to hear these messages. For me, it was really about forgiveness, and going to that place of forgiveness. And it was quite beautiful. I don't know, for me, it was more of a garden. No, actually, it reminds me of something at the Smithsonian, a beautiful marble garden with art and books and things I love. So I felt grateful to have a space that felt like it was my own. So I thank you. I thank you for doing that.
Thanks, Julie, for sharing. Yeah, and I guess if you did something similar, just today, then yes, that does sound like reinforcement, like, connecting more with your guides. Yeah, thank you. And then it seems like Judy has been in and out, I'm not sure. So Lori, would you like to share? Lori and
yeah, I'm gonna be curious about Mike, because I know I don't think he's done this before. I've done this many times, and I've never felt like I've been able to define a guide with a name or anything. And boy, one popped in really crystal clear. I know now what my guide looks like. He gave me a name. I could draw my guide. I know Alice Butler Short showed up as well. A friend of ours that passed away March 29th, I think. but there was another guide, Native American, long hair, said, "You can call me Tonto." I said, "This is just playing, with fun. It's easy, just something easy to, use." Way back when I went to Sedona on Alice Jones's advice, Alice said, I think you'll meet your guide in Sedona, and I think he'll be Native American." And that never actually happened way back then. And you would almost think that with, getting the predisposition, whatever, that maybe I would have almost forced it or something, but no, it never happened then, but never, happened during any time period, but boom. And there was a lot of things that just sort of like, I think I know what's going to be happening in my next few months, and just there's things that there's just he's got a plan for me, and Mike, and we're going to be led, guided, shown the way, and this was very powerful, so thank you.
Awesome.
Well, my experience was with none of the stuff that went through mine was with the American timber wolf. And the spirit, I feel like the wolf came to me as a brother. And I feel relaxed with the wolf. And I run with the wolves. And then once I run with the wolves, and then to the pack to American tribal Indian camp, then I just leave the wolves and go with American Indian spirit. And then with, I guess, a medicine man, which I don't understand any type of American Indian language, and they have a ceremony. And then we drink a potion, whatever, out of I guess it's a bowl made out of wood or rock. And then you feel lifted. And it's tranquil. And then after that, it feels like I can be with, I don't know what type of bird, but I can see the bottom of the earth. And then after that, I guess, with whatever it does, and come back to the wolves as my brother.
Wow.
But I feel very comfortable with the wolf. But I've had these dreams many, many times, but I do feel comfortable with the wolf.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as soon as you started sharing about Sedona, so this seems to be a reoccurring thing, because it's like second time in the past few months, Melvin saying ayahuasca, lifting that up. So that Sedona has come up. And so I went to Sedona like for the first time in April this year, in May, and just on my friend that wanted to go to Sedona, and I didn't know anything about it really. I was just going with her. We also went to Santa Fe, and like I knew that it was spiritual, like it attracted spiritual people. But when I was there, one of the things that we did was Kundalini yoga in one of the vortex sites. And so it's like for like a while we did Kundalini yoga to like open us up, and then a meditation. And during the meditation, a Native American figure like appeared. I didn't know anything about the history and like whatever. And I was like, I don't know who this is. But it was like a male type Native American figure that showed up. And then later, when I was doing Reiki again with my friend, he showed up again during the healing. And so I was like, maybe this is like a guide that is associated with this area or something. But it reminded me of what you were saying, And I don't know that I've seen him again since leaving Sedona. So yeah, I think that, I don't know, I think it seemed like maybe he was someone that helped people like seekers that came there for, you know, to work with their.
Yeah, and I'm very attracted to Sedona, and yeah, that sounds almost like that same one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same one. Yeah, I don't know. But
Oh,
that I was like, whoa, I saw like a potential guide there as well. And so Sedona is amazing. I'm definitely going back at some point. I don't know when, but
wow.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
And so I think that's everyone, unless someone wanted to say something else. Melvin, did you want to say something about the ayahuasca?
When he said we drink a tonic, that's what it brought up for me.
Right.
That I had just seen it, and someone else that went on well, in real life went on a journey. It's a documentary on Gaia Network, and that's what they did. Took roots that are hanging from a tree and boiled them and mixed them with leaves and drink them. And when he was experiencing with his journey, that's what that reminded me of when he said we got together and drink some type of potion or tonic. And so that's what came up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I think unless anyone wants to say anything else, thank you all for coming and for going on that journey with me and together. And I will see you all next week. Or thank you, Alice.
Take care, everybody.
Take care. Have a good week.
You as well.
Thank you. Stay safe.